One. Oh, wrong camera. I went to yours, my bad. People, salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're all well, inshallah. We are back in London, finally. I'm excited because all the London guests are going to be top tier. And, you know, I've got to bring people that I know personally and people that I think are just great people who have a great online presence and so on and so forth. So the first guest for London is none other than my brother, a mechanic, a fighter, a loser to me in some sports as well. Walid, OLY, AUTOS. Salam alaikum, Aki. How you doing?
Salam, bro. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, not too bad, bro. Not too bad.
Alhamdulillah.
Tell me, what brings you here on the stream today?
Today, we're going to talk about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Business, Islam, how Ramadan is going as well.
Are you also going to talk about how I gapped you in Dubai?
Well, there's a little bit of an argument to that, which it's been ongoing for about, what, a year now, maybe? Yeah.
Well, cool. To break the ice, to make the public aware of it, let's tell them exactly what's what, and hopefully that, you know, certain authorities in Dubai are watching.
I hope so.
But, yeah, so we were racing from Dubai Mall back to our apartment, which is literally a 10-minute drive or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm in a Nissan Patrol, big, heavy car. Walid's in a Golf GTI, and he still got gapped.
No. It didn't happen like that. I have to admit, I made a mistake. Obviously, I missed my right turn. I was on come to a traffic light, and then I did the craziest thing, which is put it in reverse. And,
On the highway.
Put it in reverse. I thought I was in like one of those Fast and Furious races where you can't go back. You have to win.
Vin Diesel come out.
So I've put it in reverse.
At this time, bear in mind, because he's gone straight and I've taken the right, which is the right way. I thought, all right, cool, I'm clear, I've won. And then, he's put in reverse and he's just gone past me. But I beat you to the actual apartment itself, so that's all that matters.
That's where the shaky area is. Someone says the apartment, someone says the car park. So we don't know yet.
Fairs. Well, look, people, if you're tuning in right now, I've got Walid from OLY AUTOS in front of me. You would have seen him on TikTok. You might have seen him on Instagram. He's gone viral with a lot of his videos, alhamdulillah, and I'm proud to say that he has. And I knew him when he was just Walid, not OLY AUTOS. Well, he was always OLY AUTOS, but not like the social media OLY AUTOS. So
yeah, of course.
If you've got any questions while we're here, then please do let us know and write them as we go along. But Walid, seeing as we're boys, we never really talk about like the whole come up and how you got into business, how you got into mechanics and everything like that. So it's going to be quite natural in some way. Yeah. How did you get into it?
So
just introduce who you are first, I suppose.
So my name's obviously Walid. I'm from OLY AUTOS, joined into my family business, which my dad started off. Starting it off was, I would say, from, let's say, the age of 12, 13, where I've realized, like, academically, I wasn't bad, but I knew that wasn't a route for me. So what I used to do is I got my dad to buy me a go-kart.
Really?
So an actual go-kart, yeah. So I had an actual go-kart, and I remember at the time I used to tell my dad I want to start racing. I do want to start doing some races and stuff. So anyway, we got the go-kart.
Thought it was going to be Hamilton, innit?
Yeah. Everyone's dream, innit? But I got the go-kart eventually. Then where the garage is, I used to drive it up and down. So I used to go up the kind of alley, and then what I used to do is long to turn it because it's got no reverse gear. I used to master the fact that I can slam the brake, turn the steering, and spin the whole go-kart so I'm facing the other way. So obviously I've mastered that a few times. I would crash it into the wall, and then the tire rods, obviously for the steering, would get bent, but you can't buy new ones. So what I would do is take them off, go on the vice, and turn the vice, straighten them out, put them back. Same thing would happen again, and it was pure steel, so hardly anything would happen.
Did you ever think for that point there when you were straightening out the rods that you'd be a mechanic later on, years down the line? Or did you have a different dream?
Do you know what? I think my first thing was actually a pilot. That was my first thing, like when I used to think about it. But then eventually, as you get older, you realize how expensive it is and to get involved in that. And then for me, it was just like, the garage was more of I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it. So yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
But that was the process of the beginning. Yeah. And then like the business part of it was different things that were involved with that particular go-kart as well. So
So I've known you. What year was it, Mr. Ali behind camera? What year did we all link up? We first met in Dubai, right?
First time I think was in Dubai.
First time we met in Dubai. I want to say maybe 2020, 2021, something
21,
along those lines.
2020.
Alhamdulillah, we've grown a very strong connection with each other, as well as the brothers who are around us. Shout out Mikey, Abbas, so on and so forth.
Shout out to them, man.
I suppose it's a very good starting topic to come with is, we've got a solid friendship and a solid relationship.
Yeah.
How do you actually pick who's in your circle and who you give your energy to?
Do you know, with that particular topic itself, it all stems from as you're growing up and you have your own responsibilities and you have friends around you. Now, when you have friends around you, they either understand that you have certain responsibilities and support you in it, or they don't. Or they like, you realize that a lot of friends become basically everyone to themselves. Do you get what I mean? And then as they're everyone to themselves, what they do is they either drag you with that process, or they actually also allow you to do you to yourself as well and progress and stuff like that. And then you actually, without knowing, you fall into a trap of, you know what, you may spend so much time with someone or do so much with someone, and you're actually losing focus of what you're doing or what you want to progress in as well. And everyone in life has got to learn that. As a human being, I believe, growing up, you've got to learn that whole process. And then once you do, and you realize, like, inshallah, for everyone, you realize what's actually important and what you need to, progress and self-work on, obviously on yourself, then obviously that's where the stage of progression starts coming in, and you see it a lot.
What was your upbringing like as well, Walid? Because, and I'm going to ask this in the sense of Islam as well. So incorporate Islam into the answer. Because I know you now, you're quite a religious guy. I remember when you told me, Surah Al-Baqarah. By heart. When I was like, wow.
You know, in that process, like my dad always put effort in, alhamdulillah. And there's actually a very sad story to that I do want to share on camera, but I never shared it to anyone ever. It's only between me and my dad. So the process of it was like going to Quran school from about year 6. After school, I used to go Quran school for two hours. And
how old? What school? Like primary or secondary?
No, I was just leaving primary, going into secondary.
Okay, So year 7.
So year 7, and I used to do from 4:30 to 6:30, and then as I'm finished at 6:30, my dad would come and pick me up. And it took me quite a while. The most Quran I've actually learned was after I left Quran class.
Really? Why?
Because this is where the story is going to come in. So what happened was, we done just Amma first. So we started off at the end. You start off with just Amma, then you come back and start from Al-Baqarah, right?
Is that because where the longest surahs are?
Yeah, but it's just in the Quran class, that's the structure they used to do.
Yeah.
So once you complete just Amma, then obviously you start from Baqarah, coming back, obviously Nisa, Ma'idah, and keep coming through. So obviously, it took me to complete Surah Baqarah completely. Took me about 2.5 years. So I was very slow in terms, there was guys that were finishing it way quicker, but I was very slow in that process of actually memorizing it. A lot of mistakes, back and forth. And then eventually I actually got kicked out of Quran school.
Why?
Because...
What did little Walid do?
Well, it was the fact that I wasn't progressing quick enough, and that's what made it really sad. Like, the teacher actually took a decision to kick me out because I wasn't progressing. It's not like my dad couldn't pay the fees or anything like that. It's because I wasn't progressing quick enough. And that's why I got kicked out at the end. So for me, it was just like, you know what? It was actually sad because I look at it now at my age, and I've got children now, and I'm like, you know what? My dad's actually put effort, not to put me in high standard education or anything, to actually learn Quran, and then you get kicked out like that. It was like, it was such a sad thing. After that, as I grew a little bit older, it always stayed in my mind. And then I started memorizing myself. Just started memorizing myself, and just progressed myself with it.
So here's a question off the back of that. If you could create your own mosque, inshallah, one day.
Inshallah.
And have your own Quran lessons for the youngsters, for the kids, or even for people our age who haven't studied it.
Yeah.
How would you run it?
I would make sure that everyone gets an opportunity to learn, no matter what situation you're in. So because people can pick it up quickly, people can take a bit of time.
Same thing with English.
Yeah,
I ain't even got English GCSE.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone's different. Everyone works different. And yeah, I would make sure everyone gets an opportunity. And I would never put that, experiencing that myself, I would never put that, because for me, it then becomes a status thing. Oh, your son's doing it quicker, or your son's doing it quicker, or your daughter's doing it quicker. It doesn't matter about that. What matters is memorizing and understanding. If you memorize and also not understand, it also can be an issue. You have to understand sort of what you're reading in the Quran, and how obviously the Quran was brought to us for that reason, so that we know how to live our day-to-day lives, and what to do. So yeah, inshallah is the plan as well, man.
Inshallah. Emnak, got to give a shout out to you. He said, W, what a G facts. Bare pressure when I was trying to learn my surah. Funny enough, he's Algerian as well. So do you think it's something within Algerian pressure? Like,
no,
how is it within Algerian
Do you
culture?
know the Quran school I went school where my school was, it was actually, they weren't Algerian. Like, a lot of them were of the Asian culture. So it's not like it's to do, but it happens across a lot of cultures. Don't get me wrong. Like, it does happen in many cultures, this pressure thing of, like, you know, learning Quran like quick and memorize, and my sons are Hafiz and this and that. No, it's like, it happens a lot. You hear it, but it's just someone hasn't ever come with experience and put it out there that it does happen. But
how did that shape the rest of your life? You know, from being, I know it's Quran school, but being kicked out of that class and almost feeling like, especially when you're young, that you might have had that feeling you're not good enough.
No, you know? I felt that more so. It wasn't so for me. I felt like I let down my dad. That's what I felt like, because it's so much effort. You remember, at the time it was in Tooting, and the garage is in Brixton. So when he finishes at 6:30, he's got to drive all the way down to collect me and then take me back home and stuff like that. And the least I could have done, the point of view I was looking at is, the least I could have done is stayed in Quran school. Yeah. But it wasn't
in your control,
in my control at the time. So yeah, it was just it was a thing that eventually after that I just said, you know what, myself, I'm gonna.
Well, everything all happens for a reason, man. And maybe that's the reason why you know Al-Baqarah off the back of your hand, you know?
Yeah,
because you went and studied it yourself in your own time.
Exactly.
No pressure or nothing like that. No comparing yourself to any other students in the class. So Alhamdulillah, remember that everything happens for a reason, not just yourself, but to everyone who's watching right now. What was your life like in school, education wise? Where'd you go to school, in Brixton?
No, I went to school in Tooting.
Okay, yeah.
So I went to Gatton Primary School, and then went to Arisala Secondary School, which is Islamic school. Didn't have the best of facilities, I'll be honest with you, but the main thing was learning the basics of, like, every Muslim child, you know, your prayers and you know, Aqidah, fiqh and stuff like that. So obviously at that time, you know, growing up in school, everyone's just kids. I done some bad stuff in school. People would know, I'm sure.
I don't know. You got to tell me now.
Yeah. Obviously, your regular fights and doing whatever. I done quite a bit. So, but yeah, like I enjoyed school. Wasn't academically great, but enjoyed the fact that you get to play football in break times, and that was the main thing for me going to school. And then the grades bit was just getting by. Do you know what I mean? That was my thing when it comes to grades. Just get by.
Just get by.
Just get by. So, yeah.
Someone said in the comments, 100% so happy you've put that out there. I'm assuming that's in terms of the Quran and learning.
Yeah.
Same person has also said, reading Quran and understanding it is more important than rushing to finish the Quran.
Yeah.
And, this is natural within a lot of Asian communities, as I've half past experienced it.
Yeah.
Oh, as I've had past experience. Sorry, I mistook that. And then Eminak, once again, this guy's a proper Algerian man. I like him. Alhamdulillah. Guys, keep the comments going. We're going to go on a quick ad break, inshallah. And then we will be right back with ya. Right, it's Ramadan. I've got something incredibly special for you. You might already know Sunnah Supplements because me and Sunnah Supplements work together on a close basis, and you will probably know them for the incredible collagen protein. But let me tell you something right now. Their electrolytes, game changer, especially during Ramadan. So during Ramadan, Sunnah Supplements have got this incredible Ramadan package where you can get 2 packs of collagen, electrolytes, and a shaker included as well. Now let me tell you how you actually use this in Ramadan. So during your hours of suhoor, what I'll simply do is have a scoop of collagen followed by a sachet of electrolytes as well. The electrolytes are going to keep you hydrated throughout the whole day of Ramadan, because obviously you can't have water, you can't have food. So this is going to be something that actually helps you fuel yourself during the day. One sachet has the same mineral contents as 3 liters of water. And of course, with the colors on the shaker as well, you already know that a portion of the profits are going straight to this country right now. So you can get all of this for 50% off. Plus, use the code CEOCAST, you get an extra 10% off. That is a whopping 60% off throughout the month of Ramadan, and keeping yourself fueled, hydrated, the whole lot throughout the month. So you want to make sure you're fueling your body the right way this Ramadan and get this Ramadan package. Don't forget to use code CEOCAST for the extra 10%. The link's on the screen right now, as well as the description and the QR code. You got no reason not to get this. I'm making it as easy as possible for you. So scan the QR code, get to the link in the description, and get yourself this Ramadan bundle. So Sunnah Supplements, thank you very much for sponsoring CEOCAST. It's keeping me fueled throughout the whole of the month of Ramadan, and it's going to keep you guys fueled as well. Back. People, if you're just joining us right now, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're all well, inshallah. Hope your Ramadan is going very well, and hope you're keeping yourself as close to the deen as much as possible. If you're just tuning in right now, I've got my brother Walid here from AUTOS. He's a mechanic. We're just talking about his upbringing, how Islam's always been integrated in his life, and also going to an Islamic school as well. Now, coming to actually education bit, and we were talking about that just now. What other stories do you think you could tell me that you haven't told anyone else before? Other stories, interesting ones. It doesn't have to be religion-wise. It doesn't have to be education. It could just be Walid as a youngster, the way he used to roll.
I think there is a final story I can give you, like in terms of like something that really, really changed my life. And it was later on in my life. It was after I started work and stuff. I was about 21 years old. It was actually on my birthday night.
Okay, so before we get to that, I need to understand what we're changing your life from. Like, why was it a change? What was the life before that?
It was a change in a sense of material stuff, money, understanding that there is no importance at all. It can just be gone. Within less than a minute. I think that was the biggest lesson out of that for me.
So you're saying up until 21, you was about like the materialistic life and stuff?
I would say I like nice things. Ever since I started driving, from my first car, I've always wanted to change cars. And this was actually, to this point, was the fact of me getting a particular car that I wanted. And within like 6 months, it was just gone. To a bad situation, in fact. Not even like it was a really bad situation.
Is the bad situation part of the story you're going to go into?
Yeah, okay, yeah. It is a bad situation. SubhanAllah, it was in Ramadan 2016 as well. So we're in the month of Ramadan now, so it's a good time. Like I said, I haven't said this story to many people as well, but I'll use this opportunity because a lot of people go through certain things and they can't talk about it. Alhamdulillah, I'd like to say that I'm very mentally strong. But in terms of like sharing it out, and people can, if they've been through something like that, you can get over it and you can move on in life, and you can, sometimes we talk about the mental health thing, and I do believe like it's there, but you also have to know how to incorporate Islam as well at the same time.
Yeah, we were speaking about this when over voice notes when I was in Dubai.
Yeah.
I don't think we could speak to the extent that we said it on our voice notes, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, like so what happened? I was in Taraweeh. It was the 3rd of July 2016. About 7 months before that, I bought a Mark II TT, which I wanted as a car. Like at that time, I was 20 years old. I wanted to buy this car. So what intrigued me about the car was the spoiler that comes up and down. So
like the R8.
Like the R8. So when I saw that, it's like, at that time, for me, it was like you got a baby R8. You literally got a baby R8.
Yeah.
Had the red interiors inside. I loved it, and I love nice things. That year also, I bought my first Rolex. Bearing in mind, I was working from 16 to the point I'm 20. So I saved good money, and I wanted to enjoy that part of life. So, yeah, so I bought this Rolex, I bought this Audi. You feel like you're on top of the world, innit? You feel like you're on top of the world. You're enjoying your car, you're enjoying everything. And one night in Ramadan, I finished off Taraweeh. I went to a milkshake shop. I got a milkshake. I was driving home. home was about 15 minutes from the milkshake shop. So I'm driving home, and I pull up to the house, and I just park the car on the side as usual. Come out of the car, and walking towards the main door, security door for where my building is. As I'm walking up, there's a black Golf that creeps up behind me with the headlights off. So I've turned back and looked, but at the same time, remember it's my birthday night, 12 o'clock. Everyone's sending me happy birthday messages, so I'm just responding and walking away from the car. So all friends and stuff like that. So as I've turned around and looked away once again, I've started to creep my walk a little bit faster because I know something's wrong. So anyway, the car, as I've just turned to the left to get to where the door is, the car's pulled up, one of the back windows has gone down, and one of the guys at the back's asked me, "You got a cigarette?" Now in South London, if you get asked you got a cigarette or what time it is, yeah, from where I'm from, that's when you start making your decision to what you're gonna do. Yeah, you know what time it is. So anyway, I've turned back and I said no. Turn back again to walk towards the door. At this moment, I put my hands in my pocket to get my keys out. The Audi key was attached to my house keys, right? So as I've literally creeped a bit faster to get to the door, I've put the wrong key in the door. So now I'm trying to force it back out as well. And at that moment, you just hear footsteps coming behind you. So I've heard these footsteps come behind me. They've got to me. One of the guys has grabbed the key off the lock, literally pulled it off the lock. So within that moment, I turn around. There's a guy there holding a shotgun to my face. So I'm standing there, and bearing in mind where the door is, my house front garden is right beside it. So, and subhanAllah, like, you know when people say to you, your mother has a sense, even when you're not around? Like at first, when people used to say that to me, I'm like, how does that even work? Like it doesn't. And bearing in mind, all my family were in the living room at the time. The closest to that door was my mum's room. So I'm standing there. This guy's pointing the gun to my face. I'm just there, like I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just there doing mumbling shahada under my breath, innit? I'm just shahada.
Do you think he was gonna press the trigger at that point?
You never know at that moment. It could be accidental. I'm not saying they could have just tried to frighten me at that time, but you never know what happens. Because at that moment in time, there's like 3 guys patting you down. One of them's trying to take your watch off. I had my watch on as well. Silly me. I'd never ever do that nowadays. But, you know, once again, when you're excited and you get something materialistic, you're just like, yeah, I'll wear it anyway. Nobody can talk to me. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of thing. And also, I'm from a background where I've done a lot of combat sports. I've done taekwondo for like 10, 11 years. And then I moved into amateur boxing, which I boxed at a high level in amateur boxing as well. So it's just one of those ones where, like, for me, I can handle myself, but you don't foresee these circumstances. You don't think,
shotgun to your head, everything goes out the window,
everything goes out the window.
Forget all the taekwondo moves and all that.
Forget everything, So, and then as obviously I'm leaning by the door and these guys are patting me down, obviously the guy's taking the key out the door, the watch is gone, wallet, everything like that. My mum has noticed me by my jumper, so she's looked out of the window because she can hear movement. So she must have walked from the living room to the bedroom for something, right? And then she's obviously seen me, so she's told my dad. So my dad's obviously the security door that I'm talking about that my back's against. My flat is obviously the first one on the left hand side. So as soon as my dad pops the flat door open, you can obviously see through the glass. Imagine you're me and they're facing this way, so the door's behind you. So as soon as that opened, it's like everyone just dispersed. Poof, like one person ran this way, one person ran that way, one person. So now at this moment, I'm in like a shock, and I'm also like, my dad is gone. He's come out of that main security door. He's gone to the left. I'm on like the right, and then. Obviously, alhamdulillah, at one point I'm happy my dad didn't push too far because there was a guy, one of them that he cornered, and I swear to you.
Your dad cornered one of them?
Yeah, my dad cornered them, and Allah's my witness, I swear to you. The guy pulled out, a knife. It's a machete, bro. Like, it was probably the size of his leg. Do you understand? The way he pulled it out, like, and then my dad is just like kind of cornered him kind of thing. And then once he got that quick my dad kind of looked at me to make sure if I was okay, whatever. The guys just obviously ran off. And eventually, obviously, I went into, within that moment, you go into a little shock. Like, everything's happened so quick. It's happened so quick. But alhamdulillah, like, the main lesson out of that for me was, you may have everything in the world and you may feel like you have it all. And I'm saying it in a sense of, I could just have one watch and one car and that's my world. To someone else, it may be more. It takes more than that. But to you is enough. And that's a person that doesn't look to the outside. I never really cared what anyone else does. All I care about is working for me and keeping myself happy. So, and then eventually it just goes like that. Yeah, after it, you know, I felt like I don't want to go and work anymore. I don't want to think you have this rage of anger. You do want to steer in another way. You do want to do different kind of things. But alhamdulillah, like again, I had good people around me. My dad supported me a lot. My dad, I remember my dad, and I don't look at it in any way. Like the next morning, like after I went and got a new SIM card and a phone or whatever the case is, like got me right back into the garage. Like go into the flow of motion, keep things moving. And then alhamdulillah, slowly, things. And these times I was just working, like I was learning the trade. Like I wasn't running the business like I am today. I was literally just learning it. I was working and I was enjoying it. So I was enjoying it, and then the fruits of the labor was actually this nice car, nice this, nice that. And my dad like never gave me, it wasn't a thing where, bro, the first week I worked with my dad, I got £50, bro.
Is it?
£50, my first pinky.
Shout out, uncle.
Yeah, my first pinky. And that was in 2011.
Yeah.
So the whole week's work, I was doing 1 day college on Wednesday, just going to do the theory part, like City and Guilds MVQ for motor vehicle engineering. But yeah, that was like, and then eventually I was just progressing, started doing better jobs, working more. And then, yeah, so within that phase, after that, obviously, I had a bit of downside, but that's where I learned tawakkul a lot, like having trust in Allah. And
coming back to that story briefly,
at
that point there, when you know this Golf pulled up, did you think it was a setup?
I think I got set up. I think I got set up by someone very close, because no one could have known where I was at that moment. And I've never, ever brought anyone to my house.
How do you know it wasn't just by chance?
No, it was too planned to be by chance. It was too planned. For me, I mean, it had to be set up in a way where you can't, people knew, I'm not saying I was someone bad, or I can hold my own, but people knew that you can't rob me with two bare fists. It doesn't work, because with me I'll fight back, whether win, lose, draw, whatever you call it. I'll still fight.
The Algerian heart.
It was never a thing where someone, bro, I used to do, I'm telling you, like I used to, when I used to box, I used to spar like 12 rounds, 13, 14 rounds, like not a daily basis, but every 2-3 days.
Yeah, when you were going there.
Yeah, when he was going there, when he was training for fights and stuff. So you can hold your own. Once you do that kind, I know street fights are very different, but once you know how to hold your own, then you can, do you know what I mean? So I believe it was planned, and I believe that someone very close that had to have known what I had, and I've had to know, obviously, my situation where I was for that to happen.
That's going to make you have mad trust issues with your friends, your circle and everything like that.
I did for a long time.
How'd you do with that?
It's just, alhamdulillah, eventually I got to know new people.
Yeah.
I got to know new people. You start putting things in the past. Once you start knowing new people, and people that are genuine, people that, you know, their work, you know what they do, and then you have good, like, just after that happened, I met one of my boys that's actually made the logos for the business, websites, stuff like that. I met him straight after that situation.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, like probably like 6-7 months after that. So this is like, you start meeting new people, and then slowly it fades away. You do have, I'll be honest, a long time after that, you know, when I went to buy my car after that, sometimes you have a worry. You pull up, You know, your parents worry about you. You do stay out, but they're calling you all the time to make sure like you're okay, whatever the case is, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually after that, it slowly fades away. And then, yeah, alhamdulillah.
So
And du'as.
Quick one, you didn't mention, did they take the car then?
Yeah, they took it. Yeah.
Okay, so they all dispersed, ran off, but they also took
my
the cars
baby
off.
was gone, bro. That was my baby. Also, like honestly, that was like, it was for me coming into cars. Like I owned nice cars after that, but that there.
Yeah, obviously that's your first like sports car.
Man,
I know.
Man, and it's the time it took to save up to get get that car.
Yeah.
It came through a customer, so we used to maintain it in the garage. So it was a good car.
Oh, so you always used to see it anyway?
Yeah. It was like a minute.
So you already had a connection with that car?
Yeah. So it's like manifesting it, but it comes to you like every year or every 6 months to do some work on it, and you're sitting in it, and you're like, you don't even realize that one day you're gonna own it. You're actually gonna buy this car.
That's mad.
So
that is mad.
It's crazy, isn't it? And then eventually it was gone. It was gone like that. Yeah.
There was another question I was going to ask you off the back of that as well, especially when you're young. Where do you think you got your influence for the materialistic stuff and the money from? What was it around you that inspired you to want to have?
Where we live, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my parents was nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
My parents were nothing like that. My external family was nothing like that. My brothers, none of them were nothing like that. It's where we was, the time we grew up in. It just, remember, if you really look at like 2020 or 2019, coming kind of backwards, 18, 17, you're at that age where, remember the Gucci belts, everyone was wearing the Gucci belts out, and so everyone tried
with any t-shirt or anything like that.
Yeah, it could have been anything. Yeah, you had to show it.
Yeah.
If you go on my Facebook, like you probably see a picture like that from back in the day.
I'm going to find that.
Yeah, you probably will find it, but it's like, it's the people around. It's the people around you, and you wanna do better. You wanna look the part. You do want to look the part. And people are afraid to actually say it and say, oh no, I do everything for myself and make myself. Yeah, you are doing it for yourself. You are buying stuff for yourself, but you also want to look the part. Like I'm the man kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But that's how you get humbled real quick when you get into that. You get humbled
real quick. I don't know if we're lagging or anything like that. Are we lagging? Are you on stream? Are you on stream? Are we lagging? Or are we good? No? Fairs. Well, it is time to go on a quick ad break anyway. So put all your questions in the comments below and we're going to come to them straight after the ads, inshallah. Want to start making money online with minimal risk? Then let me tell you all about Profit Sweeps. Profit Sweeps are flipping big brand products on Amazon and making thousands every single month. And they'll even show you how to start in just 7 days. Let me tell you how it works. You buy products from stores like Argos, Costco, B&Q, or even Amazon themselves, then flip them right back onto Amazon using Amazon FBA. That means Amazon handles everything from storage, shipping, and customer service. So it means you don't need to go through the struggle of building a brand or even launch products. You're just simply tapping into the demand that already exists. Profit Suites gives you the exact products, prices, and strategies to help you start flipping instantly. Members are already finding deals, selling fast, and making real money. And now you can too. And because you're watching this podcast, here's the deal. Use code CEO at profitsweeps.co.uk for free 30-day trial and 50% off your first month after that. So what's the harm? Test it, start flipping, and see the results before you even pay. Once again, that's profitsweeps.co.uk. The link is on the description and a QR code on the screen right now, making it easier for you. And I want to see you do well. Start flipping, start selling, and let's see where Profit Sweeps can take you. Right, we are back, people, we are back. Walid, a few questions from you for some people in the comments below.
Yeah.
I like this one a lot. What's the best advice you've ever received from anyone?
The best advice I've received from anyone. Never, ever. I'm trying to remember this. I think this would be the best thing I've ever probably has is be patient, man. Be patient. Have sabr. I don't think there's anything that beats that for me, bro. Like it works for every single situation you're in. Like whether it's to do with your life, to do with business or anything. Because if you don't have sabr, what happens? You lose your mind.
You're going to lose your head.
Of course,
literally.
You lose it.
Why aren't things happening right now?
Yeah, exactly. You lose it and then you can't be focused to actually have a solution to whatever you're doing. So I think have sabr, have patience. Yeah, man.
So on that, can you tell me a time where you've had to really be patient with something? Like let's just say you've asked Allah for something or you've been planning for something your whole time.
Yeah.
and it just hasn't happened, but you've had to remain patient the whole time? Is there anything you could pinpoint as an example?
Do you know what? I can't really pinpoint an actual scenario example, but I've always known to myself that I've trained myself to know that everything will come in its time.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, like everything will come in its time, and that's for me. For me, that was mainly like, yeah, you do wait for things, you want to seek for things and stuff like that, but I always knew patience.
Yeah,
patience.
Salim Hussein, shout out to yourself, bro, because you're actually active in this chat as well. He said, shout out to both CEOCAST and Walid for putting this podcast together. Alhamdulillah, this podcast has been very interesting and intriguing. So, alhamdulillah, we're about to make it even more intriguing right now. Walid, tell me about your work life then. Like you said, the first week you started working with your dad, he gave you £50 for the week.
Yeah.
That's 10, or was it 5 days or was it 7 days?
No, it was 5 days technically, because with the Saturday.
A tenner a day.
Yeah,
a tenner a day.
Yeah.
So then what made you, obviously, I know you said, if we take it all the way back, you got the go-kart, and then you're straightening out the rods because, you know, you're not the greatest of drivers.
Yeah.
Sorry. So you had to sort out the steering rods.
Yeah.
So what made you go from that to thinking, all right, cool, I'm going to actually work at the garage now?
Yeah. So after that, what I done was I bought the little RC cars, the petrol ones.
Yep.
And they came in like a million pieces.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember my dad bought me one for my 14th birthday or something like that. Yeah.
That was good. So I made a little workstation at home. This was around the age of like maybe 14.
Mm-hmm.
Made a little workstation at home and putting it together. And like when you're putting it together, it's not like the components. Even the diff, you will put the crown gear, the drive shaft all together as well. Like it doesn't come like the diff and you just sit it on the frame of the car. No, you have to actually make the diff.
Just a quick one as well. You know how you're knowledgeable about all these parts now and all these things. Were you knowledgeable about that stuff then, or do you just follow the instructions?
No, this is the process of learning though. Like following instructions, and then obviously I had my dad as well. I say to my dad, "Oh yeah, I'm putting this piece together, but what is this called?" And then you hear stuff: diff, drive shaft, engine, gearbox, 2 clutches. It literally had 2 clutches.
There was no Matt Armstrong back then. So
no Matt Armstrong. You can't even go like, you won't go on YouTube and search for things like that.
Okay, so you put in this car together then.
Yeah,
and then
I put this car together, enjoyed it, and then after that is when I knew. Once I finished that car, I knew afterwards that, this is the direction I'm heading in. Repairs, anything to do with the repairs on cars, whatever the case is, I'm heading in that direction. So
what age was you when you actually got into the garage then?
So I finished GCSEs, the next day when we left school, I didn't even go on holiday that year. Yeah. The next day I went to the garage.
So you didn't go college, university, nothing?
No, I went to college. Yeah. So college then started in September. Yeah. But remember, my college was work-based learning. So I was only doing 1 day a week in college. Yeah. And then obviously the rest was experience in the garage.
Okay, so your college was related to the garage. That's when you were studying. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I say. It was motor vehicle engineering, City and Guilds and IMI. Makes sense. So and then obviously what they would do is you do a lot of work-based learning tasks and stuff, and they would send someone down to your workplace, and then they'll test you on certain things. And then a lot of it was in the college, like 1 day, full day, you do all the theory part. Mm-hmm. But the workshop side in the college was very easy. It's nothing compared to the challenges you have in the actual workshop.
In the actual workshop,
yeah. Because the engine and the gearbox, for example, if you're doing a clutch, it's already on a stand. Yeah. You don't have a subframe to remove. You don't have anything to remove. It's just there in front of you.
Oh, okay, so they're just examining you on that, on changing the clutch.
Exactly.
When everything's already out of the car.
Everything's already out of the car, so you could do that so easily.
So your job as a mechanic is to understand and learn how to take the engine out and do this and do that. And
take it out, and then you have to assess whether, okay, this car I need to take the gearbox off. Do I need to remove the subframe off or not? Or do I need to do this? Or do I need to do that? So obviously that's why it was so good, the experience side, learning so much within a small business as well. Mm-hmm. Because if you was in a bigger company, sometimes it'll be a bit harder. Because you're in a small business and everything is tight knit, like you can learn off so quickly. Yeah. You just pick up so much.
How long were you working for under your dad's wing?
I'd say probably a good 7 to 8 years, maybe, man.
Oh, really?
Or
so
even
your dad was in the garage the whole time as well? While you were there?
Yeah. While I was working, the early stages, my dad was there all the time. Yeah, my dad was there all the time. He taught me a lot, man. He taught me a lot. Like, even when I say patience, my dad's the one that taught me patience. Like, when things go wrong in the workshop or with the job, having patience, because then you'll be able to sort out whatever you need to sort out.
Yeah, of course,
So,
of course.
And it can be challenging.
At what point did you, at what point did your dad step back?
I think I think he realized the responsibility that actually I have, and I'm treating the business with respect, and the way I'm dealing with things, the way I'm bringing stuff into the business. Because remember, this is another point I wanted to touch on as well. You know how some people will give that phase that, oh yeah, daddy's business, daddy's money, whatever the case is. When we come into family businesses, yeah, the generation's very different. Do you understand? The people they dealt with and the people we deal with is very, very different. Like, I'll give you a point from now. One of my main points of actually being successful in having so much work and repairs is transparency by video with customers. And it tends to be a shock to me, because when you look at my Instagram and I'm doing videos of things, people are like, oh, this guy actually shows videos. But I'm honest, bro. Like, I have nothing to hide. Do you understand? If I tell you I'm changing a clutch on your car, I'll show you the process. Okay, Do you understand? If I'm telling you that I'm changing X, Y, and Z, I'm showing you the process. Because there's nothing else. Now, unless you have bad intentions, then that's a different story. But it's so mad. When I started social media properly, like, it used to be a shock to people. It used to be like, oh wow, nobody else shows videos like this. So I don't know what garages it is, but you know what I mean? Like, and that's when you realize, like, you learn little things in business, which I picked up of my dad: honesty, integrity, all of these things. So yeah.
Does Mr. Honest like BMW? Someone's asked.
No. It depends what BM is.
No?
It depends what BMW it is.
220D. That's what I'm driving right now. No, you hate my car.
That's N57 engine and N47.
Man's hating on his own boy's car.
N47 engine. You know what? I have the issue with those. If you want to touch base on it, it's up to you.
The thing is, we're going to get into a whole rant.
Yeah, that's the road.
Okay, Mr. The person who asked that question, does he like BMW? Do you want to go full basis on it? Huh? Go for it. Go for full basis on it, I suppose. And then we'll come on to the whole social media journey and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So tell me, Walid, what is your problem with BMW? Because I'm a BMW advocate. Okay. Yeah, as we know, M4, alhamdulillah. Yeah. That's actually sold now, funny enough.
That is a different category of BMW. We cannot compare that with the actual M cars are a different category.
All right, cool. I'll tell you my BMW history, yeah? I had a X5, but I had the 2 litre diesel. Yeah, so it was X5 25D.
Yeah.
I had a 330E, which that was honestly an amazing car, but it got to its problems. I'm trying to not feed you the problems, basically. And
let me guess, that I had a coolant leak at some point?
No, I didn't have a coolant leak here. You know what it was? The one thing that really annoyed me about that car is the fact that you couldn't control whether it to be in electric mode or engine mode.
Oh, no, yeah.
So the one thing that I really used to hate.
But this is the earlier years one, though, right?
It was a 16 plate.
Yeah. I think after that they changed it.
Yeah, so one thing that really used to bug me is that, like, you'd be going out, and let's say you jump on a motorway, the whole time the car's been electric,
Yeah.
But engine switching on at 90 miles an hour. That just does not make sense in my head at all.
Yeah, like, that's asking for disaster to happen, basically.
Asking for a disaster to happen, yeah. And then I remember towards the end of the time when I had it, it might have been 2 years into it, there was a mad vibration noise from either the drivetrain or the engine or something along the lines. I couldn't tell you, obviously, I'm not a mechanic, but you had the sense of it, something going wrong here. Yeah. And that's when I was like, halas, get rid of this.
The common thing on them with the vibrations, probably engine mount, or worst case scenario, you might have a chain issue, which is not
likely. Yeah. But then tell me, why don't you like them?
For me, is the engineering of certain engines in the models. And when I say BMWs, I mean what is majority driven around London.
So you're not talking about your M cars. You're not talking about your M140is.
No. Like the M140, the B58 is one of the best engines out there right now. Personally, I think the Daza is better than it.
That's the RS3 engine,
the
right?
RS3, yeah. So that's the 5-pot engine. I feel like that's better. I had one of those, and I feel like I've had both in it. I've had the 135 actually. So not the B58, the previous one, which is the N55, I think.
Yeah, it's N55. Yeah.
So. But then again, even my BM, like the 135, it's just oil leak after take the sample, and everything is a big job. Like it's not something where it's quick. replacement, and that's it. Subframe has to come off to take the sump off because it's leaking. Then after the oil filter housing. Then after you have another problem where the coil packs just go by themselves. Like so many things. And then it just keeps going. Injectors. Like there's a particular model, the N43, I think, engine. The injectors went on it like it was no tomorrow. And then you ring BMW today, if you still drive a 2010 3 Series 320i, you can't even get injectors for it today.
Oh, can you not?
Yeah, it's they completely discontinued it because the reason being is that it's so much problems. Yeah, they just forget this. Yeah. They done a recall for a little while to show that they're doing something, and then eventually that's it.
They got rid of it. Yeah,
they got rid of it. So, and 2010, like I know we're 15 years later, or 14 years later, but it's not old, innit? You know what I mean? When you look at cars that have been driven before, people used to drive 20-year-old cars, 30-year-old cars, and
old is gold.
Old is gold. Old is gold.
So give me an example then of, like, for example, my car, 220D.
Yeah.
65 plate. What's wrong with that engine?
What mileage is it?
75,000 miles.
75,000 miles. Yeah. So now it's going to be down to driving, number one. Yeah. The way the manifold is built, the way EGR cooler, EGR valve is on it, you're going to have a lot of blockage in the system. So manifold will get blocked, EGR valve get blocked, EGR cooler will get blocked. Yeah. Now, if we're talking about basis of costings, if you're to buy the stuff from BMW and fit it on and everything, you're already on almost $2,000. So your bill is almost $2,000 to maintain something that is a system that's put on the car.
Yeah.
Like DPF systems. Well, we haven't even got to the DPF. That's a whole nother story. Do you know what I mean? Then my problem is this, yeah? So you've heard of timing belts, right?
Yeah.
Timing belts, they were always known to be changed very easily. It was a maintenance job. It wasn't a problem job. Yeah. So you got an old school Golf GTI Mark III, whatever the case is. You change your timing belt within 3-4 hours, right? Yeah. And that's done. You've got a new timing belt, fresh to go on the road, another 60,000 miles or so, yeah? Then you had your chain engines, which is the same as the R32 engine, for example, or the Mark III VR6, right? Your chain engines, the chains were very solid, yeah? So as long as your oil change intervals are, done correctly and whatever the case is in good timing, yeah, your chain will last you 200,000 miles easy, no problem. The problem I see nowadays is you have cheap quality metal used as chains, right? And then the chain is fitted at the back of the engine, not at the front.
So what, you have to remove the engine?
So the engine needs to come out to do the job. That's 2 days on a job if you put one man on it and someone that's relatively experienced.
Yeah.
£2,500 to £3,000 later, because you have to spend about £1,000, £1,500 to actually buy the stuff from BMW.
Yep.
I'm not guaranteeing any job internally that big without using original parts.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? I don't care what any customer says.
Yeah.
And this is the problem you'd have as a business as well. You're not going to go and buy aftermarket parts, put them all on, right? And then he's driving up to Leicester, Birmingham, Manchester to meet his family, and he goes bang, and you get that phone call because that car needs another engine because you went and used aftermarket parts. Do you understand my point?
I get what you're saying.
So, and where you see this is where you see where business has progressed so much. All this stuff has to be explained to customers nowadays. People back in my dad's time or old school mechanics don't have to explain this. But if you don't explain this, you put yourself in a big predicament, because if something does go wrong, then obviously it's one of those ones where it's a warranty job. You got to take that engine back out.
So that's too much brain engine overload for me, yeah? So a lot of it we just went straight over because I was just trying to comprehend and understand it. But I do have one question because I remember my X5 had it and a lot of cars have it now, and I still don't bloody understand what it is. AdBlue.
All right, AdBlue, what AdBlue is, AdBlue was a system that was made to clean up the air that comes out of the exhaust, right?
Okay, so let me ask you a question off the back of that. Was it a system made to do that, or was it a system made to make money?
To make money.
Okay, so it's a scam.
100%. I believe it's a scam, yes.
Okay.
I do believe it's a scam because I'll be honest with you, the AdBlue injector, where it sits 9 times out of 10 is after the DPF, right? And all the chemicals that are coming out through the exhaust, this AdBlue injects and then does a little chemical reaction to clean up. That's why if you go into the back of exhaust cars now, you don't see any black carbon at the exhaust tips. You don't see it anymore because obviously this is what the AdBlue does. But at the same time, it's a system that is prone to go wrong, like too much. The problem is not about it going wrong as well. It's how much does it cost to fix it?
Yeah. Well, not even just that. How much the actual AdBlue costs as well.
Yeah, but
It's just ridiculous.
at the beginning, AdBlue used to be about £5 for 5 litres.
Yeah. But it's
Then,
not like that
eventually
anymore, innit?
it's just gone up to. But then the
Ridiculous.
AdBlue was made for it to be a thing where, okay, we can justify the fact of the difference between a Euro 5 and Euro 6. Because before they couldn't do that. There were Euro 5s with DPFs and Euro 6 with DPFs.
Yeah.
So how would they do you know what I mean?
It's
So
all a money-making scam.
it's a money-making scam, of course, 100%.
We're going to go to one more ad break, inshallah, and then
Inshallah.
I'm going to come onto your whole social media journey and everything like that.
Inshallah.
That's how a lot of people will know you. So,
Yeah.
people, get your questions in the comments. So if you're looking for a way to build financial freedom without compromising your deen, Muslimpreneur is for you. It's an online educational platform built for Muslims who want to start and grow halal online business. No riba, no haram niches, and no music. They've already helped tons of Muslims go from nothing to over 6 figures, and this Ramadan, they're giving back. Only by watching this podcast can you get a free 45-minute consultation. The link is in the description, and you can scan the QR code on screen right now to book your call and find out what they can do for you. Muslimpreneur was founded by my friend Ammar, who built a multi-million-dollar business while staying connected to his deen, and now he wants to help others do the same. So once again, use the link in the description, scan the QR code on the screen, and find out how you can be a Muslimpreneur.
Like 500 DMs.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Ignore all of them.
We are back. Cool. Right, people, if you're just joining us right now, thank you for all the comments that we've got in here. Let me just go through a few of them. With Walid, how would you advise a person to both balance religion and worldly matters for both brothers? So you go first and then I'll speak with it.
How to balance religion and worldly matters.
Yeah.
I think number one is put religion first always. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Basics of religion as well. You know, it's 5 times a day prayers, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, you feel much more calmer.
Yep.
In everything you do in the world. Because things then in the world won't really matter to you. They come as they come.
They come as they come, yeah.
Yeah,
Literally,
that's yeah.
I'd say the exact same thing. It's all about having Islam at the forefront.
Yeah.
My answer is pretty much the same as yours with you.
Yeah.
Having Islam at the forefront, everything you do in your life, somehow, not even somehow, you will manage to relate it to Islam.
Yeah.
If you're doing things right, honestly, with integrity, that all comes down to Islam as well.
Of course.
And then going back to your salah as well. You know, Allah asks us to pray 5 times a day.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's spread out over the, we could, I can't remember who was talking to you about it, but it was like, Allah could have said, pray all 5 at Fajr time.
Yeah.
And then you can go the rest of the day.
Of course.
But the reason why it's broken down into, obviously, the times that it is now, is so that throughout the day, we are always constantly reminded and remembered of Allah.
Of course, 100%.
So
and you have that peace as well.
And you have the peace,
I love it personally at work as well. Having that peace every 2 to 3 hour gap. You get that 10-15 minutes to just
just cool down,
just
and then
cool
refresh,
down,
go back,
and then refresh and then go back.
Sick.
Yeah.
Brother, I have a question for Oli. Can I self-teach myself mechanics on my drive? If so, how would you do it if you had to start again from scratch and learn on your own? Jazakallah.
Yeah, of course you can. Nowadays, it's very easy to learn anything. Everything is on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's on the internet. There's nothing stopping you. Like literally, you can learn it in any way. I'm actually starting the courses, obviously.
We're going to come to that.
Yeah,
We're going to come to that.
So that's something as well. But yeah, you can 100%. But you see, the work is actually, I'll be honest with you, it's a trial and error thing.
What do you mean?
Mechanics is actually a trial and error.
Oh, so what if you get error on someone's car, customer's car?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You got to fix it. It's happened to me. I've lost a lot of money, bro. A huge amount of money.
But it's just part of the game.
It's part of the game, bro.
Part of the game.
It's a service thing where it's nobody's ever gonna lie to you and say that they've never made a mistake or broken something in someone's car or I'm talking about big mistakes, that cost like thousands of pounds to deal with.
A lot of money,
yeah. And you just have to sort it out.
Have to deal with it.
Yeah, that's it.
For Walid, what's your honest opinion on a Volkswagen Golf? From Volkswagen, the most common sold models are Golf.
Yeah.
Let me know your intake on the reliability of petrol and diesel engines on Golfs.
Yeah, I mean, Golfs are great, man.
Golf,
honestly.
I honestly think Golf is the best car ever.
Yeah.
Throughout my whole life, at any point, I will always own a Golf, inshallah. That's the plan.
And like, I'll be honest with you, VW, the VAG group, hats off to them, honestly.
Literally, hats off to them, Challenge him to a race on Marassi Drive. What are you saying?
Yeah, come. We're going to get there.
Yeah, I'll beat you though.
Inshallah.
What's most reliable cars for BMW and Merc models?
BMW and Merc models, most reliable. I definitely wouldn't say the C63.
Really?
I don't think it's reliable.
What are you talking about? The 6.3 or 4 litre bi-turbo?
No. The 6.3 naturally aspirated.
Yeah.
That one, yes, but the bi-turbo, no.
Interesting.
Yeah, not the bi-turbo. I wouldn't say the bi-turbo.
Yeah. Respect on the answer, bro. Thanks. Stupid questions from people off camera.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I have a feeling I know who it is.
Anyway, Walid, let's come to it, because I remember this was in 2021. I think it was me, you, Abbas, Haris, Ali.
Yeah.
There was like 13 of us.
Big shout out to Harris though as well.
Yeah, big shout out to all of them.
All of them as well.
But I remember we were all scooting around Dubai Marina.
Oh yeah.
Just before Fajr time or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
And Ali fell over.
Ali
Which
fell
Ali? You Ali or Ali?
Oh,
Haris
Ali,
Ali, Ali, if
yeah,
you're watching this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
remember that now.
you
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
it, yeah. I think he was behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so anyway, my point to say was that at that point there, you wasn't on social media or nothing like that. I don't know if it was in your head or not. But I remember when I'm not trying to say this to say that, you know, this was the start of it.
Yeah.
But I remember when I made the story of you know, giving
Yes,
yourself
you
shout out
did.
and
We
stuff
was
like
by the traffic light
Literally
crossing.
by the traffic light, and I was like, yo, I needed a break after all that. That's good, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what made you want to go from, I suppose, just a shout out to let's actually jump on the social media thing?
I was always doing it like myself, like little videos and stuff like that, just showing
No, but
off.
you never had a Instagram or TikTok account.
No, I had an Instagram account.
Yeah,
I never had a
sorry,
TikTok.
yeah.
I had an Instagram account, but I never had a TikTok at the time. And with the Instagram, I was just doing little videos here and there, just showing off little work and stuff like that. I've always loved content, I'll be honest with you. Like in terms of like making content and stuff like that, I was always interested in it because it was a thing that was coming up. Then obviously the shout out situation happened that when we was in Dubai. And then from there, I just like I said, sometimes when you're around people, and obviously I did see you was doing content. Obviously then got to know Mikey as well, which was doing content. And I was thinking to myself, look, these guys are doing content in their field. Yeah. Maybe I can actually do it in the garage game. Because I never really used to see garages doing it. I actually watched your podcast with Evolve. Before I really got to know you, and I knew about Evolve at that time. So I was just like, yeah, you know, let me just give it a go and see. So then during that period, I started doing more videos myself, and then eventually it got to a stage where I thought, you know what, I need to take this seriously, and for me to take it seriously, I need to get someone on board so that I can focus on my work and do the explaining part and everything like that. And I already had ideas in my head at the time, how the videos would be structured and everything.
What you want to do and stuff like that.
What I want to do.
Yeah.
So then, I got the agency on board. They come down, done the first week of it. Then we done the first video that blew, which was the BMW one.
She's always got a BMW.
So
do you remember which one it was?
It was the one I said, don't buy a BMW. Here's why. I got 1, I'm repairing 2, I'm repairing 3. There's like 8, 9 BMWs in the workshop. Yeah. So then, and there was an E46 in the mix. So I was like, here's one. But it's an E46. I love the E46. It's like, especially the 330 CIs. Like, I love them, man. Yeah. But I gave a little shout out to the E46 because I love the car. I was like, I love this car. So, but yeah, that's the first video that blew. That done like, I think, 800, 900k views, alhamdulillah. And then from there, we just kept consistently putting out content.
So how's it actually changed the game for you? Because some people jump into social media and get the whole content creation because of ego. Yeah. Other people do it because business. Yeah. What was it like for you? How did it transform yourself?
My one was business, because along the journey of doing social media, I went through a rough patch as well with the business. I mean, during COVID time, this is another point of where, like, Islamically, having an upbringing, didn't take no loans to upkeep the business during COVID. After COVID, we had to tackle ULEZ. I lost a lot of my cab drivers. Like a lot of them had to just get rid of their cars, buy Euro 6 cars, brand new cars. Leasing companies was giving servicing deals out. Business went really low at points. I did have to get some help from some friends to just keep up with the business going. Particular close friend. But yeah, after that, obviously, I thought to myself, let me find a way to try and get this brand and this business out there. I need to find a new way. I had a company which was they were called Service for Service, right? And their model was to, you book your car from home, we then come and collect the car, service it, do whatever it needs, drop it back off.
Yeah.
They take payment and then they pay you. My dad started off with them and I continued within the journey going into it. Eventually, COVID hit. They just went, they went like...
Oh, they went under themselves, or?
Well, they didn't go fully under, but...
The supply wasn't there like that.
Supply wasn't there. Okay. We had also issues with insurance companies and because I have drivers, obviously, to go and collect the cars and bring them back. I was doing it alongside with my dad as well. I used to wake up sometimes at 5 o'clock in the morning, go all the way up to like North London, wherever, collect a car, bring it back.
Yeah, that's a mission from the south side of the river.
Yeah, we was putting in work. Yeah. All this like East London area, Canary Wharf, so we was covering a lot up to Grays.
Really?
They had a big fleet company, construction company called Anderson Construction. They had a place up in Grays, right? And we used to go all the way to Grays, take one car there. Sometimes me and my dad would take 2 cars, collect 2 vans, bring them back, do the servicing on them, everything, take it back. And it was around the clock, like working around the clock. But then eventually when it hit COVID time, it really, the business was hard, man. It was hard. Like there was people not coming out the house. People were genuinely not coming out the house.
Not doing anything.
So we was just, at that moment in time, I remember we just scavenging whatever jobs we can. Literally, because it was bad. It's either that or you don't go. But alhamdulillah, look, making a decision not to actually take no loans or nothing, you're still here today. Alhamdulillah. That's it.
I've always said it, when you stick by Allah and you do good by 100%. Business, do good by religion, Allah will always reward you.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, it's important. Like, some people say tawakkul, but make sure tawakkul is actually here. Like, you actually know that, you know what, within my heart, I know, you know what, leave it to Allah. And it'll work out. Yeah. And I do it across board, everything. Like family, kids, anything. Like I know 100%, like tawakkul, very important.
So when you jumped on social media, would you say, and I'll say this in the bluntest way possible, it shoved a rocket up your business's ass?
I would say, to be honest, yeah. You know why I would say yes? Because some people that used to come to me have suddenly now seen me on social media. And they've messaged me, or they put it on the comments. I've been going to AUTOS for like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Yeah. Oh, you guys are still around. Like, that's how impactful COVID was, yeah? People were genuinely asking, are you still around?
Yeah.
You know, then, you do, you know that
everything else around them is just failing or just falling.
Yeah, either falling apart, companies went under.
Yeah.
Like, I used to do companies like fruit and veg companies in Covent Garden Market that went bust completely. Like, I'm talking about companies with 30 vans, 40 vans.
Yeah.
And then after that, we had to start the cycle again. Then started reaching out to fleet companies, whatever the case is, doing this back and forth. Then social media, obviously, was big. I was having fun with it, but then it was driving a lot of traffic.
Yeah. And the thing is, you get, you know, alhamdulillah, we speak about this off camera as well. You get a lot of people from way far out coming to your garage as well.
Yeah, bro. I got a car in the garage now that came from Middlesbrough.
From Middlesbrough,
yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, so, and people have come from like Essex. One guy come from Coventry one time just to do a gearbox service.
Do you ever ask him, how come you come all the way down here?
Just trust.
Is that
just
what they
trust
say,
and honesty. Bro, you see your aura when you're doing certain things.
That's the word aura. You know, look, man. Yeah. He bangs on about the word. Anyway, I'm not even going to get into it, but it just makes me laugh. Yeah.
That's why I like. Okay, he keeps going on about
the word aura, yeah.
Yeah, but I genuinely say, like, when you're doing stuff honestly and how you come across, people could take that in straight away.
Yeah.
They don't need to extra conversate with you, because they know that the way you're operating and the way you're explaining stuff and the way you're doing stuff, and obviously plus good reviews on Google and everything like that, they put all of that together and they say, you know what, this is a trusted place. They know what they're doing. So
I just got to pause you right there.
Yeah.
Blue Tick Show. You are an hour and 6 minutes late, but wa alaikum salam. He's just joined now saying salam.
Walaikum salam.
You got to be here from early, bro. You got to be here from the start. But no, bro, alhamdulillah, you know, social media has pretty much changed the game, and I've seen the numbers just keep climbing and climbing, not just the views on the videos, but your follower account on Instagram, TikTok, and everything like that. Everyone loves the content.
Alhamdulillah.
So where do you go from there?
Just keep pushing. Inshallah, I do want to work with some people out in Dubai, which I've been in contact with.
Open
do some
like
collabs.
OLY out there, or
Yeah, not at the moment. I would love to, but you see, for me, it's very difficult. I'm at a stage of the business where I'm the accountant, I'm the everything, you know, putting all the paperwork together, doing this, the invoicing. You have to get to a stage first where you can allow that to run by itself without you being there for you then to move onto something else.
Yeah.
So that's why it's the difficult part. That transition.
So then let me ask you off the back of that, what's stopping you from getting the team in place to do so?
Nothing's stopping me, but it's just in the process.
Okay.
That's what it is. Just in the process, finding the right team, doing it, and yeah.
Fair, well, inshallah that happens, right? Inshallah that happens.
Inshallah.
I'll come to a few of the questions before I come to Mikey, if you got any questions for Walid, here's your time to ask right now, because we're going to be ending the podcast soon, inshallah. This is a good topic, actually. What's your thoughts on the China electric cars making its way to the UK? I'm going to flip that question slightly. What do you think of Chinese cars in general? Because the one that comes to my mind is the Jetour, the one that looks like a Defender. 30 bags, brand new. 2 litre petrol, 300 horsepower. Sick.
Think about it. 30 bags, you can actually add on another 10 to make it look you know, with all the floodlights.
I saw one the other day. I don't know if I say the snap or not. It was white and it had, you know, how the Defenders have got the side box. And
Yeah.
Where it had the whole kit, the ladder. Everything.
It's sick.
Yeah, look this. There you go. I'm put it that way, so just a kiss.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. But that's a freaking 30 bag car. I guarantee it's not even 10 bags in parts.
Bro, they are coming in hard.
Yeah.
They Chinese cars, they're coming in hard.
Do you think they'll hit the UK market like that then?
I don't think they'll allow it.
Why not?
Because of the politics that's going on between now China, America, UK. I mean, because of trade, right? I mean, the Chinese market, they'll absolutely flood everything. What are they going to do? Throw the VAG group out the window for Europe?
Yeah.
No chance. no way. They're never going to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
So it's all about dominance in it for them. But to be honest, like I would love to see Chinese, like the BYDs. The BYDs are very successful here. Like they're actually out there. Cab drivers use them. Everything they're pushing. But do I think the Chinese market will actually? It all depends, bro. It all depends.
All depends. Let's see what other questions we've got here. What's the best way to make money from working on your cars on your drive? Breaking, buying and fixing? What would it be?
I think at the moment buying and fixing. Or being a mobile mechanic.
I think buying, fixing, documenting on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? I'm not going to say you're going to be the next Matt Armstrong, but you could get very close.
You can,
with hard work.
100%.
And trust me, he makes good money.
I've seen there's a guy that also documents doing mobile mechanics. He's doing very well.
Yeah.
Like, just his jobs are like doing brake pads, doing suspension and stuff, does them outside.
Yeah, stuff like that. You don't need like major ramps or anything like that.
No, it just does it from outside, documents it. Everyone loves this content.
Yeah, sick. Alhamdulillah. Are petrol cars actually being banned from 2035?
Nah, they can't ban petrol cars.
Why not? What's your theory?
My theory is that look how much money he's generating. Petrol, diesel, in general.
True.
So, the amount of taxes that are involved in that, I don't think they're prepared to let it
go. Why have I missed it? Yes, you have, unfortunately, bro. We're literally wrapping up in the next 5 minutes. CEO back in London. Alhamdulillah, here we are, bro.
Alhamdulillah.
I'll see you tuning in every single day, so shout out to yourself if you're still here as well right now. Walid, last question.
Yeah.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
If the Burj Khalifa is 828 meters, how many kangaroos are needed to swim in the ocean?
Bro, Can't even answer that. Can't even answer that.
Why not?
How many kangaroos are needed?
Do you want me to repeat the question for you?
Yeah, go on.
If the Burj Khalifa is 828 meters,
Yeah.
how many kangaroos are needed to swim in the ocean?
Kangaroos can't swim.
Says who?
Just by looking at them, I'd say they can't swim.
Surely that's like animalist something.
No. Bro, I swear that
That's judgmental. Yeah, why are you judging? That's haram.
No, but I'm just judging by the arms. Like, you can't... Do you know what I mean?
You can't judge about talking about short arms or anything like that. No, that was a stupid, silly question. That being a bastard just going on people's lives on TikTok and stuff in the bio, just asking dumb questions like that. Anyway, the real question is, Walid, and let me get serious with this one as well, straight face. Is there ayah / verse in the Quran that you really sit with and resonates with you, and why?
Yeah.
Go
لا
on.
يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. For me,
Translates to what? Sorry.
I'm sure you've heard it before. I think someone's even said, Allah doesn't burden a soul more than it bears. Like, it, for me, once you have that, you understand it and everything, you know, every single situation will get resolved, and nothing's too big. Nothing's ever too big.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know that as you were saying that right now, Mikey's in the chat violating your height.
Who, me?
Yeah.
He's not much taller than me though, is he? How much taller than me is he?
I don't know, to be fair. Maybe a centimetre or two.
Yeah, probably. So, sorry, all I got to do is just wear a bit of a higher profile, innit?
Yeah.
And I'll be the same height as Mikey.
Maybe taller.
Yeah.
Right. Mikey, I know you're watching. I'm not going to repeat your next comment. So anyway, if you've all enjoyed the live, I need to ask you to all please press the like button, inshallah. Get the likes up and share this content with as many people as you can. Now that we are back in the UK, we'll be streaming every single day, 3 p.m. to about 4 p.m, 4:30. Mikey's on the stream tomorrow. So Mikey, you're in the chat right now. I'm subscribing. Yeah, go on then. That was Mikey saying that. Mikey's going to be on tomorrow, inshallah. So make sure you tune in to us 3 p.m. every single day until the end of Ramadan. Until then, Walid, of course, if people want to find you on socials or where do you want to direct people to?
Instagram, AUTOS LTD, and AUTOS on TikTok. Yeah, that's it really.
Sweet as. All links in the description. And once again, catch you all tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum. Salam.